showing up as live.
Take a look at fellas. You can
good
see
job.
the emblem.
Ah.
My gosh.
That part worked.
Cool.
Look, we already got live.
I'm looking at that. A little bit of a delay, but now we have video and we're recording a podcast because we are back in the podcast room.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Man, it feels weird to be back in.
Doesn't it?
A little bit.
Facebook deleted my new profile.
Why?
I booted off.
I don't know why. I think they were like, yeah, you already have a Facebook.
Thank you, Savannah. I'm the only one here. Hi. You're not the only one. Robbie Cruz just joined,
Well,
but we appreciate
yeah.
Savannah Pierce for joining us.
She hear us.
That's the main thing. Hear audio. We're trying out a new system.
Golly, I need to wear makeup. It's gonna make my head.
Yeah, it's not looking great. I like the pixelated Chase much better.
If she can hear us, hey, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Great.
Left speaker, right speaker, or phone? Or wondering if you can hear it out of.
Yeah, we're trying new technology. Our headphones have to work, and it's got a lot processing, so we're still getting used to it.
Re-echoing.
So
is there any echo?
Bear with us.
Robbie Cruz says sounds good.
Hey, Robbie, we're gonna hop right into it. We got a heck of an agenda lined up, right?
Oh, y'all don't get to see the pop-ups. What's up with that? When I did the out, I thought maybe I'd see the pop-ups. Anyway,
we're officially back.
What year is it?
Dude, I love the memes that are everybody waiting on 2021 and New Year's Eve is 2020 part 2. Like, oh, no.
2021, what else could happen? Or whatever, that spaceship made me actually.
The group of aliens and those aliens standing in the middle of like, oh my gosh, we're up next. I'm so nervous.
It's coming. We know they exist. They're going to come in and it's going to be bad.
I watched a video today on The Great Deception. You know what I'm talking about.
Was it done by Faces in the Sun?
No.
Face Channel?
Prophecy Watcher.
That's Riders of the Storm.
Yeah. Look at all them 15 people.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you for joining us. Yep. Hey, Jonathan Baird, if you don't mind, all 17 of you, share this out. We got a lot to talk about. The elephant in the room is obviously that the NBA is coming back. I think that's the number one topic in America.
No.
First thing on my mind.
Man, I don't like the current state of the NBA after watching The Last Dance.
We need blood. I mean,
LeBron's.
What's up? We got Jordan in here for a specific reason. Not only is he hilarious, but he's also good perspective on, I'm sure, what's going on in America right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
So what has been going on, Alan?
There's been sickness. We knew that.
Is that happening? I
haven't heard it talked about in a week.
Yeah.
But after me and Jordan were talking about some protests and riots, he said, riots? I thought liquor stores were giving away free samples. That's...
Man, I don't know how this podcast is going to go. Hopefully we'll get kicked off.
No.
But
funny liquor store story. I'm a church-going Bible thumper. I had the steak marinade recipe that calls for red wine. I had to go to the Hood liquor store in Cullen like 3 days ago. Bought this red wine, snuck out. They put it in a brown paper bag, like a 40 ounce.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Man.
Apparently herd immunity was the antidote all along with this.
Yeah, man.
There is some stuff going on after the death of George Floyd, which is taking up all the airways.
Did you watch the video?
I watched the video, and that was very disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
How you couldn't be a little outraged by that is beyond me.
What I saw was a guy that had been doing it for 19 years. Even before it started getting really bad at the beginning, people were cursing him and talking crap to him. That's probably what he deals with every day on those streets. I saw a really cold-hearted guy after 19 years in that city.
Who knows what was going through his mind, but it was not the right thing in that moment, for sure. Obviously, the protests and stuff, that's understandable, too, when you're talking about the subject matter.
Not mad at the run-of-the-mill protesters with
Yeah,
the picket signs.
the cause is understandable.
Yeah, worth protesting.
But things get out of control. You can't condemn the whole crowd. You can't condemn all
though.
cops. And you can't condemn all the protesters for what's going on.
Yeah. Thankfully, we don't have to mess with cops much longer since they're going to defund them.
Ilhan Omar.
Should work.
I saw it was a headline that said, educators call for defunding the police in New York City, call for money to be spent on education. I was like, I never would have thought they would. That's where they want the money to go.
Man.
No.
Who would have thought? I hate that it's been hijacked by Antifa and groups like George Soros funded groups.
I'm looking for more groups to get blackballed by the Trump administration as terrorist organizations.
On that list.
Yeah.
There's a legitimate cause and reason to be upset and out in the streets making your voice heard. The other side of that is just, it's so intertwined with the people that get bussed in and cause mayhem that the message gets lost in that. Now you're seeing media coverage on the burning stuff. It's sad.
The worst thing was CNN. There's a burning police precinct behind him, and he says, "This is a peaceful protest."
Yeah,
there's
it's right in the back
burning.
I was trying to think of points to be made on the far left or the Antifa side of things, which is what is to be gained, because I think the ultimate goal is global governance. I think what they feel will be gained out of that, like personally, is they feel like they're the ones going to be in power or pure equality for some. I mean, is that? I don't know what.
Do you want me to give you the political answer? Or
I'm genuinely curious
as to what's being gained by
a global governance that they strive for.
There's a lot.
That's why I was going to open it up.
Come at it from a biblical perspective.
In the end, it's going to circle around to a biblical thing that eventually will happen as one more government. But if we just speak in the now, too many things going on right now that absolutely do not make any kind of sense. There's a right for people to protest. We've always had that constitutional right. All they're doing is seeing this as an opportunity to infiltrate. A.G. Barr did a job of discerning between those groups.
Yep.
The peaceful protesters who commit crime, but were incited by group number 3 who have no cause but to cause mayhem.
And are black males.
Yes. So the thing about this Black Lives Matter, it didn't make any sense. Number one, and I get it, it's not the same Black Lives Matter that I remember from a few years ago. Every time I saw it, it's about 60% white people that was out there. Number one, they didn't get a job. That's a lot of it. I think that would have helped. But all this was too coordinated. If you look at statistics, before the protesting started and it turned to riots, news ratings, and probably people that are, where's the camera at, that are listening, I got sick of watching the news.
Makes everybody sick.
Yeah, it was just redundant. They're showing the cases that doesn't matter. Nobody.
Is anybody in the COVID updates at all?
It does, because once you get cases, it's like unemployment.
I told you the news that day, and you were like,
I've been saying the unemployment numbers were skewed.
Yeah. Turns out
they're skewed. It's similar to COVID-19 cases. The more you test, the more you're going to get positive. That doesn't mean it's a negative result. It's a bad result. Just like the unemployment numbers, you had people that were furloughed, that were still employed. They just had to go back and they got enhanced benefit, but they had to be back at work.
Yeah.
Out of the 29 million, 72% said that they had to return to their employer within 6 months or less when they completed their benefit.
Yeah.
So we knew that June, July and stuff, they were going to come back. Now, going back to what I was saying about suddenly we see this riot. They couldn't have planned what happened with Mr. Floyd, but they had to find something that was the next
vehicle.
thing.
It's unfortunate they used the death of a man as a vehicle for. You got one group that's out there for the right reasons, and then somebody using a vehicle.
That group does not like the other group.
We know that obviously that wasn't planned, but something had to have happened. That gave them a great opportunity because, in my opinion, if you look at the news ratings, CNN's down 48%, Hannity down 37%, Rachel Maddow's down around 17%, but Tucker kind of saved Fox a little bit. But news ratings were down because people were over it. I think Memorial Day weekend,
everybody tuned out. They were all about looking past the COVID stuff.
How do you sell advertising if that happens? Something's got to be next. Because I remember saying, man, after this impeachment over, what are they going to do then?
We need to stop
I
asking.
got to stop saying that. But now you have this. Now they National Guard they've squashed some of it, and so what's the next thing? Because all of this to me seemed like it's trying to be stretched out until the election.
Yes.
That's the only thing
Absolutely.
that makes sense scientifically. It doesn't make sense for people to be locked down, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense when other states are.
Well, why do they want Trump out so bad is to get to that next step. I was talking to Dad, and I said, when you're talking to someone with that ideology, it's like a Christian talking to an atheist. The Christian is going to use the Bible as that absolute authority to make their points.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you should believe certain things, because the Bible says so. The atheist is going to say, I don't believe in the Bible. What's next? That's how conservatives or pro-America, pro-Constitution, that's the mindset they're going in talking to somebody from the far left. They use the Constitution. This is why we should believe, because the Constitution, they say, we don't believe in the Constitution. We got to come up with something different.
It's a simple concept. Lawlessness versus the law. It's not black and white.
Right.
It comes down to lawlessness and the law. Which side are you on? You can say that with respect to biblical law too.
I will give Antifa a little credit, because even if they don't believe in the Constitution, they know how to manipulate those rights for their purposes. They can argue it's a peaceful protest versus a riot, because there's a fine line there, and then if we say, now you're writing, you're trampling on our right here.
Right.
And then if you say we need to squash this riot, they're saying, now you're the authoritarian.
Yeah.
It's almost like, now you're doing that.
I never had that feeling with this.
Yeah, I tell you, the thing that picked me
I'm
off
just using
more-
this example.
Right. What I don't understand is the majority of the cops are good, in my opinion. There are just some evil people.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Him and George Floyd, they work together, but doesn't dismiss what happened. Right.
Right.
The problem I have was this thing getting so amped up that it squashed out the peaceful protesters. Now it's turned into these people leading this movement. And when I saw the videos last night or night before, I honestly thought that Garcetti, I thought they were kneeling and praying. I did not realize until I saw another video of someone catching a nurse coming out of the hospital that they had them kneel down and apologize for white privilege. That infuriated me. That was not cool. We can pull that up on YouTube. It just it's turned into this thing that it's not. And to me, and it's not a race issue. It is a coordinated event to affect the election. That Trump is going to run on the economy. He had a plan to do infrastructure, typically a more democratic bill. But when you start having record unemployment, what's the point of creating more jobs than at the same time he's being spied on? This squashed the Flynn story. You've got that coming up and heating up, and this pops up.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing after another.
Hillary Clinton was going to have a judge order her to sit for a deposition with judicial
Was
watch.
that in September?
Yeah. They extended it, but they didn't find that out until it went to court like 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of all this.
Yeah.
That adds another level to it.
Too many funky things. Mr. Floyd, Antifa, I'm not saying backed by the DNC, but
not hated
they
by
were
the DNC.
Funded somehow.
Professional organizers
in
the
major
10
cities,
biggest cities.
Antifa
They had to have
doesn't have a
warehouses.
GoFundMe page.
They had to have transportation.
They had to have logistics to coordinate that
Yes.
thing. Imagine you're going to stage something like what just happened.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is, as these cities locked down are opening up, then you say, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Oh, let's destroy the business. Now they can't go back.
But
for the fact,
make the point that you made at church.
What they are vastly underestimating, which they've done all along, is the coordinated effort that government that the administration has put forth. This team reaches far. It's not just the medical task force and the economic, let's open up America task force. Under that, they can't show you everything they have because it'd be an 8-hour press conference, and it doesn't matter. But when you have FEMA, they reacted in a way that everybody knows the disasters that happened down in New Orleans. Under Trump's FEMA, they built a 2,000-bed hospital in about 2 weeks that only 5 people used. They built another hospital in Louisiana, and he said, we don't need it. They built hospitals all over, coordinated, outfitted ships. FEMA moved faster than ever. You had the DPA enacted. You had all these things happen. So what's going to happen now when these people we're going to try to open back up? The mayors or the governors of some of those blue states can say, "Hey, let's go ahead and ease the restrictions and let everybody return to work." Kind of like we did quietly a couple days ago. Return now to what?
Oh, Whitman, she's
Next, I
wow.
think what the next stimulus is going to be is, okay, we can't return to our businesses. All they got to do is continue reporting on the news, and FEMA's going to jump in. You know how fast FEMA could go in there and remodel something? I've seen on Food Network them rebuild a restaurant in 2 days. Have you ever seen
Restaurant Impossible?
Chip and Joanna Gaines can do something like that in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Imagine FEMA built a 2,000 bed hospital in 2 weeks.
Yep.
What could they do to the neighborhood store or restaurant? They'll rebuild all of those because there's funding left.
It's all in big cities already controlled by Democrats.
Definitely.
So big Democratic cities will get brand new stuff.
Yeah.
What do they like more than that?
Podunk,
Provided by
Arkansas still ain't going to get.
Provided by who?
But they're not. You think they're going to give anybody credit for that?
But they'll know
the
that.
media won't.
No.
And that administration won't. But the voters will.
No, yep. I agree.
The citizens aren't stupid. What they don't show on TV is when they have these riots. Look at Facebook. There's hundreds of thousands of videos of people in those riots they see somebody looting, they beat the crap out of them. Or they turn them over to the cops.
Some were
Why don't they show that?
self-policing. Yeah,
why
I've
don't
seen
they show that?
peaceful protesters separating themselves and then quarantining the folks trying to instigate stuff, disarming them.
So
it was really reassuring in a way.
Absolutely, because people are protesting. There's nothing wrong with that. And then what happened is these groups come in and hijacked it.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it. When you feel deceived, you see these things happening, you feel embarrassed. But the Black Lives Matter movement got hijacked by a domestic terrorist organization. It's hard to believe when you have to look at everything in retrospect. But man, it's just like if I would have told you in January that, hey, you know what? I'm going to bet you that something's going to happen where 325 million people will not want to go out of their house by mid-year. You'd be like, man,
which
whatever.
You ironically did make that bet.
I did.
And I'm starting to be a
good at forecasting.
little weary about why.
But
what are all these petri dishes down
So,
there?
were you growing something down here?
But it's like the frog in the boiling kettle, the analogy.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, 15 days I can handle to slow the spread. And
3 months. 3 months later, it's pretty insane.
Talking about politics. Steak brought to you by Smoking Bull. Yeah.
That's awesome. Who'd you go?
Just say hi to the crowd.
You'll boost our ratings.
It's actually worked, honey.
Look to your left.
My camera. At my phone.
You're not on camera.
But
come here.
He's proud of you.
Well, of course I'm proud of you.
There we go.
Love you, honey.
We love you, Leslie.
Oh, love you, too?
He's not very touchy-feely.
No, doesn't like women that much. Anyway.
Where were we at?
No, I was going to get Jordan's perspective on all of this. Jordan being an officer. This is a really unique perspective. As you see, and you're a very libertarian type of guy. You see the more militarized police force stuff and trying to keep law and order.
Pre-Trump, I was like, I would hate to see military
and that's why
in the streets.
That's why I was going to get your opinion.
And then you have the aspect of domestic terrorists in the street, and then you're like, you have to draw a distinguishment between active duty military and National Guard.
Yeah.
National Guard they're pudgy, everyday Americans like we are. That's just the truth, right?
Justin Tidwell.
Just regular guys that live life every day. Shout out Justin. We appreciate
you. A little bit of a list, but we love you.
Yeah.
It's the National Guard.
Wow.
We love you, Justin.
Yeah, he knows.
It's just everyday men and women. But Tom Cotton is talking about send the 101st Airborne Division.
Yeah,
major escalation. But then you go back to these are now domestic terrorists. Rightfully, the police are out of control or handcuffed by city governments.
Yeah.
I think Trump did the best that he could. in leading that.
What did you think about going across the road to the church and holding the Bible?
I think it's always good when you piss those people off by
Mhm.
holding up a Bible
Yep.
and walking to a church. So they had to skew it somehow. Oh, they used chemical agents and rubber bullets against peaceful protesters. No, they didn't. The Park Police debunked that quickly.
What about this morning? Me and you were talking about that. The funny thing is, if I'm president and I say I want to take a dump at McDonald's, how much do you want to bet I would do it
Yeah.
if I was president? Yeah, think about it.
Dude wipes. Who's got my dude
I'm
wipes?
going to tell first of all, he has a schedule, right? In the morning briefing, hey, probably around 2 o'clock when that hits, I'm going across the street to McDonald's and take a dump. Now, it's
like
not
how
like that. When he speaks, it becomes policy. People move into action. Here's the security. The head of the Secret Service begins sweeping.
Right.
He would walk to that.
They said A.G. Barr wanted another block anyway.
They didn't do
They
it.
would ask him.
I want to find out the dude that said, "Dadgum, I forgot you told me to do that." God, he's gonna be like Esper. That dude's gonna be served up on toast.
Was anybody watching it live when it happened? I was, and he just at the end of his speech said, "I'm about to go somewhere special," and then he walks off. Cameras start running. It's Cloverfield or whatever. He walks out in the park. Protesters were right there.
If you're at the Secret Service, you clear as many blocks as they need. You would not
stuck at taking a dump at McDonald's.
Or say, I'm going to go across the street and talk to this person.
Mm-hmm.
They will sweep that area, and you won't have anybody within a city block. He could just get up off his desk, go out, and they hold him. It's cleared. They take off. There's nobody there. He's not shot. They got snipers around.
Yeah.
They're ready because he's the most. He's the president. He's the leader of the free world.
Also in the most protected city in the world, other than maybe the Vatican.
He did that as a photo op. He moved protesters, and he can move anybody anywhere he wants to, especially the freaking military. That pissed me off. Esper survived. Trump loves firing people. The fact that Esper, it's not like he put out a tweet or some kind of statement. Dude throws a press conference to say he disagrees with the president about calling in the military.
He lost respect with a lot of people. And what did Trump say before he fired him? He said, I think that guy's more of a Democrat.
And he said he was softer than you think.
I hate to see that.
Yeah, when you're the commander-in-chief, other presidents have instituted the Insurrection Act. And you had to. It's not super controversial.
Did he finally?
No, he did. All he has to do is the threat of it. I think that he's proven that. So who'd you apply it to? Nobody. It's just a threat.
I'd have it in my back pocket.
He's only had to do it a couple of times. He put things in place where all he's got to do is threaten. He's proven because he's a great negotiator.
Yeah.
People don't understand the massive power that the United States government and military has. We have so many levers, and that's what the American people understood. That's why Donald Trump got elected, because he got it because he's a businessman. We have so much leverage over the rest of the globe that was not being used. Instead, we were going to be the world's policeman. We're going to be the world's bank. We're going to do all of these things. We should try to help, but not at the expense of getting ripped off. The whole thing starts being infuriating.
I read an article the day before yesterday where Iran, Russia, and China are aligning themselves together, and even Turkey. They think that America is in decline now, which morally it could be argued that we are in decline, but in decline as a world superpower. Which, because we're coming out of Syria, we're coming out of Afghanistan and things like that, and I'm like, I don't see it.
They're so mistaken. People have such short memories, and of course we're in this fog of war. I mean, pandemic, we're all jacked up a little bit, and then you go into this protest thing, but Pompeo made it extremely clear: do not think that because this is happening that we're weak. He made that. He told them that in March. Do not think the United States military is not prepared.
And I think that's the point made. If you think that America was just going to, they're having a tough time with this pandemic.
Yeah, that's what I don't.
Pretty much everybody except those 2 astronauts that flew to the.
Those poor guys. Elon Musk, dude. That guy's taking the red pill for sure.
It was funny that tweet he put on about Amazon.
Yeah.
see that?
Time to break Amazon
I
up,
told
baby.
somebody today, it
Wow.
was like he was hanging out with Trump one night, and Trump said, "Hey man, let me see your phone," because it sounded like a Trump tweet.
Yeah.
It's too big. Got to break it up.
And now Musk has this following, this huge following,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the Cybertruck and Tesla and everything. Everybody thinks Tesla's so cool because
Have you
it
driven a
is.
Tesla?
And
It's the greatest
is.
experience
I
I've
know.
ever
And the
had.
thing is,
I know.
it is a hobby. That guy is so smart. He cannot talk down to our level. What was fascinating to me,
He couldn't even name
It's
his kid
listen-
on our level. I mean, are you kidding me?
What's his kid's name? I don't know.
a bunch of symbols. It was
It's
like, I
like-
don't like Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince.
It was
Yeah.
so many
about
different
15 of
stuff.
those.
Somebody try
Oh,
to,
wow.
no.
to pronounce that. Like just or type it so I can try to pronounce
Type
it.
Elon Musk's.
If you Google it, he said it on the last Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, no.
Because legally he couldn't just do in California. It has to be.
Can't have symbols or
That's
something in
right.
your name.
So he pronounced the entire name. But the thing about Elon Musk, it's like he created this car that will rip your head off if you punch the gas. I mean,
Yeah.
plus the
It
pedal
is.
fast,
It's
right?
legit. The Model 3 is.
When did you
so
drive
fun
a
to
Tesla?
Man, it was last year, maybe last summer or something.
But
I did 108 in probably maybe 6 seconds.
It's crazy.
There were
Seven.
5 grown people in the car. It's
But the interesting thing about him,
that's the name of Elon. That was what they were going to name.
What?
yeah, oh yeah,
Try to pronounce
E-
that.
The AE
Zay-
is
Zay
like
12
she,
Musk.
is like
Oh.
she or something like
Yeah,
that.
some of the symbols are
So
pronounced a little
here's the
different.
thing about this dude. He's got these hobbies.
Allegedly.
Okay, so Tesla's a hobby. Then he's like, you know what? I think I want to go to Mars. He developed SpaceX.
I
and
love
it's
the
so
phase
serious.
3 or the phases that he's like, if we can get them to the international
Right.
space station, that's great. Then we're going to the moon. If we get there,
Yeah.
great. Next, Mars.
If you said,
Let's build something on
okay,
They'll
and
prevent
you
him.
walk away and say that guy's nuts, but him, you're like, okay, you're scaring me a little bit.
The United States
Okay.
government's going to prevent him from going to the moon.
I don't know, because that's Trump's next administration. I have a feeling that
Ooh.
Elon Musk got something to do with it.
What can they claim on the property of the moon? If
He goes up to the moon and says, "There's no sign that anyone's been here."
there will be
Yeah.
a mound of dirt that says Dollar General coming.
Let me paint this picture of how this guy is. Nonchalant. Number one, he's selling off all his material goods. He's like, I don't need them.
The stock thing got me when they were like, well, he's only doing all this stuff because the stock price is just great. He said, my numbers are too high.
He
What?
said the stock was too high.
Yeah,
This
because
guy-
people were
Right.
saying.
I need to smoke another blunt on the Joe Rogan
yeah.
show.
People were
First, I mean,
saying
he
he's only doing all this stuff because the stock prices were going higher and higher.
Oh.
And they were like, that's the only reason he's doing it. He said, my stock prices are too high. And they started going, he's like, see, I don't care.
Wow.
It's not about
He
my
was going
stock.
to
or
be
anything.
investigated for saying something that caused the stock to go down. And now he said it's too high. It ain't caused it to go down again.
Yeah.
But he was hurting his own company.
He doesn't.
It doesn't matter because it's not like he was trading on the stock, because you have to announce that 90 days ahead of time. So it's not like an insider trading thing. But the thing about Tesla's a hobby. And so he says, okay, I'm going to build a rocket that can be reusable. Does it. Sends 2 dudes to the space station. Rocket comes back home.
And it couldn't have gone any better.
Oh, right,
By all
right.
now getting back, he's hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, and
But I
full
mean,
disc-
everything couldn't have gone better
in-
on that launch.
Right. In full disclosure, Tesla's never made a dime. I mean, the company. They've never made any money. So it's like a 1990s internet company. They're solely trading on the dream. Right?
Yeah.
So his third hobby is the boring company. He even named it that
Just
to
because
be
it's a
funny.
hobby. That's the one that made the flamethrowers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, he sold that crazy flamethrower.
And it
Well,
sold out.
It wasn't even a real flamethrower, right? So he does a boring company, and I remember Joe Rogan asking him, who did you talk to dig a hole under Los Angeles?
I just did.
I mean, what do you mean? It's just a hole. and Rogan's looking at him, no, who did you talk?
Who did you
get
You
permission
got to
from?
get
And
permits.
it's
you
like, what? He says, it's just a hole.
It's just.
It's like he couldn't even think down to answer that question.
Yeah.
But this dude calls Garcia and he said, hey, look,
I'm digging this.
I'm
hole.
going to dig a 1 mile tunnel underneath LA, and it will cut down traffic going through that tunnel.
Yeah.
It'll cut a 2-hour drive down to 15 minutes. And they say, Elon, sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Click. And he just does it. The dude did a tunnel. Jay Leno just drove the Tesla
saw
truck
that.
through it.
Yeah, I
right?
saw that.
They didn't think it was
Oh,
going to be.
how far are they?
They're
They're done
they
with
done
it.
with the 1 mile thing just to test.
Right.
Made an earthquake. When I say these are hobbies, because his mind's constantly working. All he's working on right now is Neuralink, right? So this Neuralink that he said will be ready in 12 to 18 months can already
I saw that.
send a signal to the optic nerve
Yeah,
that will cure
that's-
blindness.
If he does that, I'm scared.
You're going to have to flip to my
I know,
point of view
I know.
about the rapture.
I
I'll
know.
tell you. But the other thing is he's been able to stimulate the spinal cord to make people move their limbs. The dude said, basically, make the blind see, deaf hear, lame walk.
Yeah.
He said 12 to 18 months he'll begin his human testing. Now, he's got this artificial intelligence where he's mapping the brain that has the intelligence of an infant so far, but it's learning. He's building AI just so he can control it because he knows that it's a terrible thing. He said, it will end civilization. And they're like, why are you building it? He said, well, I have to. See, I got to know what can be done so we know how to control it. It's inevitable. Like he's from the freaking future.
But he built this truck, and he got everybody to give him a interest-free loan for this truck. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
Interest-free loans paid by for this truck we're not building
They hadn't
yet.
built yet. Yeah. The deposits. I think to reserve one, you got to pay $150.
I love the launch.
No, I thought it was 50,000 to
You know,
reserve
you got
one.
to pay $150 just to apply, just to reserve a spot.
I love the launch where the guy threw the ball and it shattered.
Did you hear why it shattered though? They were beating on the door panel with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
While the window was rolled down in the door. They said it cracked a chip off the window, and that's what compromised the glass. So when you saw the steel ball, hit the
Okay, so
window.
when this truck comes out, that's how people can pretty much steal the
Steal it.
truck. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
that's a
I'm
good
glad
thing
they
for
shared
Antifa.
that.
And Antifa, remember that.
Right. Oh, another
what-
side story. Did
go
you
ahead.
hear about 50 Hellcats being stolen from Houston?
No, but
During
that's
the
a
looting?
fantastic story. I want you to tell us that. I want to say one more thing about Elon Musk.
All right.
His other side hobby is Trans-America
Oh,
Train.
yeah. I've heard about this.
And he just come up with an idea, and they said, okay, build it. It's genius. And it fits in a tube. Friction is what slows us down. So it's magnetic, and it just suspends in a vacuum, and you can go across the country in 2 hours from LA to New York. Now, do you think he can make it happen?
It's gonna be so futuristic.
People are already working on it. The fascinating thing is this. He can walk into Tesla and talk to an engineer about maybe you ought to think about doing this, that, or the other. He can walk to SpaceX and say, tell me about the thrust. Do you think we could maneuver this?
We're gonna need more
Then he can
hydrogen
walk-
tanks to put the propulsion up into this to get in that second level of yeah. I know.
Then he'll walk over to the boring company and say, I think if we do this for seismic activity, he can talk no matter where he goes. His engineers say he'll walk in, step right into the conversation, know exactly what you're talking about, give you good insight, and just walk away. Then he'll go back to Tesla.
Create one of the funniest memes you've ever seen and then post it. If you don't follow him on Twitter, it's pretty funny.
He never stopped. He is a kind of a funny guy, just super dry.
Yeah, he's
I
I haven't
awkward,
figured
but he is.
I haven't figured out the
humor.
accent yet. South African.
His mother was a supermodel, and his dad was something.
And he is. Are they married? But his wife is the ex of Johnny Depp's now ex-wife. I mean, he got some
He's-
celebrity.
Oh yeah, he's really.
Was
And
the
that
guy-
was the whole thing. They said that his whole
40?
19, 20.
Wow.
If he was, I'd get up out
He's
here and
like-
leave. He'd just go dig a hole laid.
like 275.
What?
He's
dude's from the
cryogenically
future.
frozen.
But they said that was one of the points of that documentary is that he does things. He's so smart, he doesn't even realize how smart he is, and he can't talk down anybody's level. All he's looking for is love. The one area his assistant said, if we can find him a stinking girlfriend, that's it. That
There's no way though.
his main goal in life is to
he's
have.
been dating these supermodels stuff.
I
Now
know,
he's
I
got
understand,
the
but
wife.
he
or
wants
whatever.
somebody that really
Oh,
gets
okay.
him and loves him. My understanding is
That you don't just love me for my
his-
flamethrower.
right. His dream is to have the little White House with the picket fence, but he's this uber billionaire that could not think at our ignorant level. If
He can't think
tried.
inside the box. Period.
No, he
Man.
invented the box. So
Yeah.
the guy, I don't know. It's crazy. It is.
It is interesting.
What were you
to
saying
watch.
about what got stolen?
Tell me about the
Cats.
Hellcats.
What?
Looters in Houston broke into a Dodge dealership, stole 50 50 Dodge Hellcat.
Elon
And
Musk
now
is
they're
48.
spread all over. He's 40
years old. JD Nations, what's up? Seth Miller.
So
Jonathan Baird, super awesome.
50 Hellcats are scattered throughout the South.
Yeah,
now.
and
they're
Elon was like, yeah.
They're $100,000 a pop. So 50 times 100,000, a lot of money.
And there's been a lot of cars. I mean, they weren't there a lot of exotic cars over in California that were damaged?
Oh,
Like,
And
they
stolen.
I thought
Okay.
a Hellcat.
Was it a helicopter or
I
something?
thought it was an animal. Some kind of rare breed of cat. Because
It
after
is.
watching
It's from
Joe Exotic,
it's
and all
from
that,
hell.
after watching Tiger King, I
Man.
thought a Hellcat, man.
I'm so mad that
saying
And coincidence, the Tiger King's from hell also.
that is,
I can't believe somebody overtook Carol Baskin as the most hated person in America. That's what surprised me.
which one?
The terrible officer.
Oh,
How did you?
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Circling back around.
Didn't Carol just get awarded Joe Exotic's Zoo?
She did.
she
I
did.
read that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
What
I
happened to
never
that?
watched. I never watched the first episode of Tiger King.
I did. I watched the first one. I was like, yeah, this is not very good. Second episode, I was like, it's weird. Third episode, I was like, there's no way this gets any weirder.
Yeah.
Fourth episode, I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Fifth episode, wow.
People wonder if it wasn't the pandemic, would that have ever taken off?
I
And I
know.
say yes.
Absolutely.
Because if you, and that's me, I'm watching, I'm like, I'm not watching this crap.
Jonathan D said we
then
need to go rent one of the
I
Hellcats and
I
cruise
made
down.
it through. It was like a train wreck. Okay, I ain't gonna.
That's what Romy said.
You're
I just
steadily
wanna
watching
finish-
people go off a cliff, and you're like,
You'd had to find out where it ended, and just when you thought it couldn't get worse.
What
It
is the
just-
last
it did.
episode? Does he go to jail in the last episode?
oh yeah, I can't really remember.
Hey,
They were
wait,
talking about
was
him
it-
getting arrested and all that stuff,
I don't.
where he
remember now.
stays to this day.
4.5.
He will never.
What
be
did he get
pardoned.
sentenced? 20 something, 30 something years? I don't
Something
remember.
like that. He'll get out.
What is murder for hire going for these days? 20 years, 30?
The last time
Oh,
I helped
thank-
out with that, it was.
What you're asking.
No, what were you saying? You said something earlier about Brad.
Oh yeah, Brad
it-
Ham.
Yeah,
So-
you were talking because now we're talking about murder hornets stuff flying. You mentioned something about flying earlier.
If you guys know me, you know I have a bunch of dreams, but I finally found one.
You're
that I can-
you're the poor Elon Musk.
I am, yeah. That's a great way to put it. I am the very unintelligent poor Elon Musk. So anyway, long story short, me and Alan are gonna take flying lessons.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to do that
But-
forever.
I guess I like walking.
What? Let's go. There's this really cool guy.
I don't have health
um,
insurance, but I'll show fly.
I've already been up one time flying with my wife. With
You
Brad.
sent us the video,
with
which
Brad
was really
Ham.
cool.
We flew over Taylor. It was really cool. It looks a lot prettier from the air. And just kidding, not really. Anyway, I'm talking to Brad about Alan. Like, hey, we're about ready to start doing this. Let's have a meetup and do a discovery on what we need and all that. Brad is like, hey, what's Alan's height and weight? Because I need to know what plane to bring. And I was like, man,
You
that-
should know. You better tell him about 7'2", 455.
he plays for the Raptors. So I was like,
It makes me that Jeff Foxworthy joke. I mean, fill her up because he had to figure out the gas.
you know, I had to think for a second.
What
like,
did you say his weight was?
Go ahead.
I
What
said,
did you assume?
I
This
want to know
is exact-
height.
Let me go back to the text. What's your bet on what I said?
Said
Height, weight. What's your bet?
you got to be what 5'9"? I'd say you 5'9".
okay.
Jordan probably said 5'5".
Probably.
You're
weight?
probably. I'm not gonna say your weight.
I want you to say it.
I'm gonna say maybe 198, 195 ish.
You way off.
I said
Jordan probably said 240.
Let's see who's
2something.
closest, and somebody will get a prize.
Is he about your size? Because if so, we may do a flight training in a Cessna 150. It's a two-seater.
Jordan said I'd murk this mug. I'm way bigger than you.
a little smaller than the Cessna 172 we flew, but it's cheaper and just as easy to fly. He's about 5'7" and 220, girthy in the thighs.
He's gonna need a
Well, I had to-
Right. girthy in the thighs. What is? Wow.
Alan's got a donk. I mean, we all
He's
know
got
that.
a dog, but that's yeah.
I
okay.
mean, you got a donk. It's
But the
fine.
girls like it.
That's fine. I mean, I got a bubble butt. Chase has got that athletic
It brings
butt.
all the girls to the yard. I want to tell you.
you could balance a cup
Height.
of water on your dog.
You nailed the height.
You're
You
shorter.
nailed the weight.
I'm You're 220.
216.
Okay.
But I mean,
You're not.
I mean,
You're not.
it's most-
Man, come on.
if I-
show that
You're
to
not
the
five-
camera.
5'9" though. You're about 5'8" because I'm taller than you.
Go stand in front of the
That's
camera. We'll
fine.
figure this out right.
right now, judgment is up in there. If I can believe this anyway.
About
Judgment in general. I'm 5'8.5". Stand up.
5'9".
It's like somebody saying, I'm 5.5".
yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5'8". I'm almost 5'9", but at 216. Almost.
What bad? I
I'm,
went
your,
wrong.
I'm your prototypical NFL running back.
You got a wide base. It's fine.
Except for my muscle mass may be less.
The reason
Well,
I had to say girthy in the
It's
thighs.
padding.
Yeah, give me the reason.
The reason I had to say girthy in the thighs is because a Cessna 172 was like flying a tin can that you could barely fit inside. I didn't want to have him bring this small plane down.
So you want to bring an Airbus or something?
Yeah, you should have and and try to make Alan feel bad about himself or something. Look,
That's
I told him you were 5'9", like 140. If you would have just made Brad go, I don't sound like Alan. Yeah, I swear he's 6'6".
Dude, he's my cousin.
No, I'm not seeing it.
But man, I've been wanting to fly for a
But
long time.
why don't you
and
do it with
that
us,
got me
man?
excited. I loved it.
Nobody gave me an invitation.
No,
I
well,
thought this was
I'm gonna
cut off.
This is the reason why Leslie made me get one of my insurance policies. After we got married, I've been talking about flying. That's all I wanted to do. I was obsessed with it.
yeah.
And she said, get an insurance policy. I said, all right. I got it.
It's not unfair.
And she had a lot of faith in my ability
Get a
to
millie.
do this.
Okay, I'll get $200,000.
Jack that on up.
500.
So, I mean, but dude, I always want to fly so bad.
Oh yeah, me too. When I thought I was like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. When I flew the airplane myself, I took off. He didn't touch the controls. He just told me what to do, explained everything.
Mm-hmm.
And flying is a lot easier than you would think. Just a Cessna. I'm not saying I'm flying like an Airbus 380 or something.
I hear the
Landing.
tough.
It's the
part.
landings that he wouldn't let me land it. He landed it himself.
Right.
And so,
Flying and or
They
sailing.
used to let,
I
before
do both.
9/11, they'd let kids into the cockpit of 747.
Oh,
And
yeah.
They would let them fly.
yeah.
Bring it on in, son.
Oh my gosh!
He pushes autopilot, says,
You just felt alive.
Jordan, it's all
oh
yours.
my gosh! It's nothing. It's unlike anything I've ever done.
It's a lot
well,
different.
because
It's
you had never done it before.
It was a lot
Yes.
different than your dad teaching you how to drive. Like when you were 6, standing up in
Yeah.
the driver's seat, and he threw a brick on the gas and let you go.
And he said, "Go for it. If we wreck, it's your."
No, he
butt."
wasn't with you. He wasn't in there. He closed the door and said, "All right, you got it."
What I was gonna say is it's very unlike being strapped to a bungee cord and being told to jump off a platform. I'm scared of that.
We know.
I'm
I
not
can
scared.
actually
Oh,
probably
I'm
bring that up.
You know what? I think I have a video somewhere of
No,
that.
y'all don't have it of the bungee jump.
Oh yeah, I do.
believe-
Oh yeah, I do.
No, I
Oh yeah, I do. I don't have one of the actual jump.
Anyway,
I got
it's
one
a-
of the actual descent down.
It's about control. I have control of this.
That's what I told
Yeah.
you, wasn't it?
I have control of this.
I'm just if you're something's out of your control, like a 4-wheeler,
yeah.
I can ride on the back and I'm just shaking.
Yeah.
But if I am in control, I can go as fast as that thing will allow.
Yeah.
I know I'm in control, have decent hand-eye coordination, and can judge distance. And that's exactly what you're feeling.
But I think
know it is.
It's going to be a great thing when me and Alan have our private pilot's license because we can pick up one day. Like I'm gonna join Texas Flying Club. They have 4 planes that you can just go rent
Yeah.
like a rental
Yeah,
car. You can get a Cessna, be in Dallas in like an hour, play Top Golf, eat lunch,
Flybacks.
get supper, fly back an hour. Go up to Razorback game, hour.
Oh, is this it? Can you see? Let me see if it shows up on our live.
Oh, no.
This is on our monitor here of Romy jumping off.
Yeah.
It's just.
Just swan dives.
Let me see. We got a.
Oh,
little,
let me see.
Oh, yeah, it's showing up right here on our live. This is Romy.
Romy
All
swan
right,
back it up,
off
back
the
it up.
bungee.
See, he does not care. He loves heights.
He looks dead.
But are you still up there?
I'm still up there.
No,
At some point,
Jordan's
I just
walking
watched
down right
this.
now. You can see him walking back right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have. Jordan did the other
Okay.
ride. What was
did.
that called?
Okay,
the
so
Strat-
the
Stratosphere
other-
or something?
It
Yeah,
was called
so
launch
let-
you into space if something goes wrong in Mobile.
All right, let me find.
There is no sound. I didn't think there was any sound. Yeah, we were just.
I missed it. Can you back it up? I want to see that.
Right,
Roll
so
that
let-
beautiful bean footage.
And
Man,
yeah, again, I'm just.
Well, now
letting
it's
it-
frozen
I'm
for
just-
everybody.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah, right there on live. This is the famous Oklahoma video, and this is what made Jordan decide he
Yeah.
wanted to fly.
Yeah.
Is this the cut version?
Oh,
Everybody remembers this video, and everybody loves this video, but I don't think it's the one that we're.
That's the face of bravery.
Look at Jordan's.
The issue is I'm so analytical, and the whole time this is going round and round, I'm thinking there's got to be bolts that are loose. There's got to be nuts that are coming out. There's got to be something that's fixing to go catastrophically wrong with this machine.
I love
all these moving parts.
All right, this is the fun part. This is
You're seeing Dallas right here, and we are so far up.
You're about 18 miles in the air right now.
Definitely about 20 stories.
Can y'all everywhere there? Oh, we can.
That's
okay.
we don't have.
Is he going to get us down?
No, I'm not hearing it in that either. Yes, I get
And left.
here. Here's the ocean.
In the state.
That's the best. Okay.
What are you doing that?
So now I'm getting mad for I told him to stop it twice, but then he's not stopped.
The sticks.
Oh, what a con. What are you mumbling to yourself?
Probably curse words.
I love how calm Roby is in all situations, man.
He gets up back to
He's a crazy man.
Just to listen to his stories about the bicycling or the snowboarding. He's an adrenaline junkie. I know you are keep the man was calm in every situation.
Time to stop him. I don't believe that for a
Man.
But that was always a great.
I do want to bungee jump and redo that whole thing.
Charles Downey said, Jordan, I would be saying the same or worse. I mean, you are getting some sympathy points there.
And these two lunatics right here before me didn't even do one of them.
I just didn't have the cash to do it.
Oh my gosh. Alan's like, oh, my back hurt.
No, that was Fro.
What?
Fro
That was
said,
Fro.
No, you
I
said
just
that
wanted
too.
to-
You said, I've been having back problems. My sphincter hurts. All that type of stuff.
No.
Oh, you did do that.
something about
Oh.
spraining your gooch. And I'm like, what? Dude, now
That was
I've heard
before my
everything.
Neck surgery.
Yeah.
I didn't have any back.
Okay, I'm sorry. But
because I could end up paralyzed.
That's a small price to
man.
pay.
It
but-
worked out so much better what you did.
I will say I never had any intention of doing any of that. No, I thought about the bungee jump and stuff. I wanted to see you do it first because I figured when I got up there, I was going to look down and go, no.
The next time we go to Dallas, I'm
You're going to try it again.
going to try it.
Round two.
The bungee jump.
And we're going to video that.
Yeah.
If-
I think I can do it. I really think I can.
You've already flown an aircraft.
Yeah.
Would you skydive, though? Would anybody out there
I don't-
skydive or have you?
The concept sounds really fun, just like bungee jump. But when you get there, whole different story.
I know. I mean, I don't have any problem with flying or anything, but jumping out of the plane.
Anyway, back to the flying itself. I think it'd be fun for the three of us to do that.
How long is
Fun
it
as-
expected to take?
Well,
getting the
the
license for
FAA requires you to have 40 hours of flight time, but most people,
Okay.
it takes about 60 hours of flight time. Then you have your check ride where you go fly with the FAA guy and make sure you know all the stuff. And so,
Okay.
it's about 60 hours of flight time.
I can't wait. To doesn't even sound fun. Why jump out of a perfectly good plane?
Who said that?
That was Teresa. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have been
Man, how long
doing
have we
this
been
for
at
an
this?
hour and 9 minutes.
We can keep going if the fans demand it.
If anybody's got any questions or anything like that,
We're answering questions, Sue. I got y'all's comments going right here. I can read them. I can see them. We got our video actually up. This is all new for us. What do y'all think about the video setup? I love it. I'm
Is it a
enjoying it. Is it a better experience for you guys? We know that not everybody wants to try to track down our podcast and stuff. So we hope to keep the video and also keep the podcast available on all those platforms as well. All right, let's see what else we have. There's a lot of negotiation stuff going on, UFC stuff. I was reading on the way over here.
People are getting really angry.
They're not getting the gate. There's no gate money to be had. And
Yeah.
pay-per-views
Really?
are- What video software are you using?
Ecamm Live.
Ecamm Live.
It only works on a Mac.
That was
and-
Jonathan Baird. Love the video setup. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
This has been a long time coming. And when we ask you to go to Patreon and chip in $1, this is what it goes to.
Yeah.
So we try to give people a more in-depth experience, and this is what we've always wanted. YouTube and video, so we can interact, and y'all can be as much of a part of this as anybody.
And we'll have some different cameras that, like right now, you're seeing my iPhone camera, but I'm gonna get everybody to bring their cameras so we can actually, because I can switch.
Yeah.
You'll get
Do
to
a
see
switcheroo and stuff like
everybody
that.
even closer. What else has happened out there? We didn't even talk about the Drew Brees stuff. So I think he made his 9th apology today. That's not even kidding.
That's the thing that takes me off, is just the fact he made.
Saw Trump tweet about it. Look, the mic cover Chase's face. That's intended to. We need the mic.
What I need to do is hire somebody. I wonder if anybody's unemployed right now, because if anybody's looking for a job, that was a bad joke.
Wow.
I need some boom mic. We can get somebody to hold
Boom
it.
mics, yeah.
A gaffer, is that what you call it?
Nobody's filming movies, so I bet we probably could get a guy.
They're leaving California, bro.
As a diehard Saints fan, it's absolutely heartbreaking. I've seen some of the teammates come out and take up for him in a way,
Yeah,
but they were still harping on. And I get what they're saying. Like, when asked the question, I think the interviewer was talking about the current events, and Drew answered in a way that was more personalized to him. I don't know. You had LeBron and everybody just coming out and nailing him.
Yeah, but he just should have, knowing the support that he had, and seeing it for what it really was, because he just gave his personal feelings. I mean, we all feel the same way.
His personal feelings on
The
this,
flag,
not
that
even
was
the
it.
situation of anything.
It had nothing to do with the riots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that he bowed down to it,
right, and that's what Jonathan Baird was just saying.
Can't do that.
He shouldn't have apologized. Apologizing to the mob doesn't help anything.
Exactly.
I think you can apologize if there was any misunderstanding, but I stand by my statements or something. I get that.
Absolutely.
But
if he said something wrong or whatever.
But there's a weird thing that everybody just jumped on him about. And you talk about a guy, he's done a lot for the city of New Orleans after Katrina, all the charitable fellow there. But, I mean, scrutinize him all you want on his comments, but it was, man, they went after that, and the cancel culture is real.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Trump went to Maine today, and apparently there were so many supporters that they blocked the street almost. Like, people were just
You remember when
packed.
we went and they blocked the streets? I think that's just because
Vegas has him at almost 90% probability.
all the polls are saying that he's now the underdog, but
that is the
Vegas
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Because who are they getting a chance to poll? Because
I don't know.
the campaign polls are
And
not showing
Biden,
that.
obviously, when he talks, there's a
I'm
you
calling
can
it
pick it
now. There
apart.
won't be one debate. I'm calling it.
I
think
want to
so?
know who
Not
answers
one.
their phone. Who answers the phone anymore?
I got a phone call from Sarasota, Florida, and
No
ignored
one
it.
answers their
Yeah.
phone. Right.
Jonathan, what did Sean King say today? And that's the thing about people like Sean King
And Sean King
and
said
Rachel
something.
Dolezal and people like that are. What are they doing?
Sean King made a little bit of sense. What did he say?
I don't know what he said.
He
I
did
didn't
make
follow.
sense.
Yeah.
He's made
got to be
some
careful.
really bad comments in the past,
Yes,
but I
yes.
didn't see what he said today. Just let me know on that one, or
Yeah,
put it
let
in
me
the
look it
comments,
up.
or look
It
it up.
made sense. Credit to him.
Was it on Twitter? Something he said on Twitter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Biden does keep putting his foot in his mouth. Every time they get him in front of a camera, it's like something.
When you Google Sean King, it says American writer.
Is he still with the NAACP? Is he still running that?
Sean King, this is the Washington Times.
Oh, okay.
Sean King, Democrats from top to bottom are running the cities with the worst police brutality.
I just want to see if it works.
Oh man, don't get
We've
started.
been waiting on that one.
No, don't sound effects.
For that one.
We just lost all of you. Oh no,
This reminds me of Biden when he farts.
that don't even make
know.
any sense.
Wow.
We've never made sense.
No, but I think if you would have went, huh? That would have been more.
I like that sound.
I'm gonna keep that one.
Yeah, keep that one for when we make a good point.
Yeah.
100.
We'll never
get
use that.
Never get to use it.
The 100 emoji pops up in my head every time I hear that.
We do have to give a shout out to our sponsors because they are awesome.
Just said thanks to our sponsors and Small Town Famous.
Yep. She's a faithful listener. She knows exactly what we're about to say and at what point it's looking like it's about to go off the rails.
Jonathan Baird is getting very. I think Jonathan Baird wants to keep his thing going.
Stop.
Oh, it's a Sean King quote.
Okay.
Possibly. No.
Telling us to vote in response to all the police brutality we have right now.
Dude, Trump
Yes,
is going to win
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
It will be a disaster.
I hope they have a chance to debate because I just want to see that.
They'll,
I don't think they will.
I don't know if you saw the Project
They'll do
Veritas
something.
videos. Did you see the? I mean, you like the
James
you-
O'Keefe, man,
He's-
groundbreaking stuff.
right?
Mm,
But
that
what the
dude.
Foval group? That's what it is. Because I was thinking Americans United for Change, People for the American Way, Foval Group, Democracy Partners. All those are very intertwined, and some actually receive funding from
The DNC.
the guy that heads up some of that. Said that a lot of the disruption in the streets right now is to show the American people that if you go to Trump rallies or something later, that kind of thing, that's what's going to happen or something. It's almost an intimidation tactic. That was just a report or a video that Project Veritas got their hands on.
Yeah. The thing about it is, aside from all the stuff that's happened, as long as people don't take it for granted that he will win, that's the only possible way he could lose, because his base hasn't lost anybody. I haven't heard of anyone who said, I was a Trump voter and now I'm against him.
But what have you seen?
So there have been many that have flipped, including now state senators, state representatives.
Did you hear he's 67-0 in endorsement victories this cycle?
Except for governors. He did qualify that.
Special elections and an Austin.
With governors, he did not pull off Louisiana, but he came close.
It was pretty close. And I think that the candidate, if it would have probably been Abraham,
A
maybe a
little bit
different
more
story.
dynamic. He did what he could, but I
think-
want it to be Kennedy. I want Kennedy to run for president.
I think Teresa would get behind that. You may see a
What
campaign
he-
manager
if
just
he-
pop
man,
up.
Could
out
you
of-
imagine?
He's a
his
little
debate?
old now to do that.
Let him be
Oh.
press secretary.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
How many people would tune into that? That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Man.
But here's a question I'll raise: if the disruption and the more violent side of things continued all the way to November, which I don't think it would, or do you think that would play into keeping people from going to vote? This is like a trial run, and we're closer to November, it's going to all happen again to keep people
Exactly.
home.
But it's not a conspiracy when you're seeing a practice run. Floyd was the reason, but you can find a reason any weekend because somebody's getting murdered. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All you have to do is find one. And then there's a protest, and Antifa gets involved with it. Because of the trajectory, there's a reason why certain places are still locked down. They want people to be afraid at their homes. And after you're there long enough, you just get used to it because you're depressed. But that didn't work. People got over it.
Yeah.
And because as soon
I
as they
think,
started,
everybody
as soon as
felt
they
that
started
way.
marching on the state capitals, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next? Then you have this. Antifa looking for some kind of reason. And so they have these protests and then they get squashed. But it's trying to stretch this thing out until they get to where they can have some kind of effect on an election. And it's going to backfire because they're so narrow-minded. Just like the mainstream media is so narrow-minded. And I hate the fact that we only have Fox because that's absolutely partisan. I'll watch Tucker, sometimes Laura Ingraham, but I like Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Because if Trump ticks him off, he's going to let him have
Yep.
it. He don't care. I like Tucker. But other than that, where can you get your news?
Independent news?
Newsmax
Right.
is making a
So,
run for it, though.
Newsmax, The Hill, I like The Hill.
Yeah.
They already have this huge mouthpiece. All Trump has is Fox. So you've got this thing that keeps touted about this fear. And then as soon as they see the trajectory of the ratings going down, they go from, hey, you better stay inside or you're going to die, to, hey, you need to get out there because the police are killing all of us.
Yeah.
It's such hypocrisy. If they don't think that's going to try to continue through the election, people underestimate just the intelligence of the citizens.
And also,
they get tired of it.
it's also this group of folks that they'll say, I'm more moderate, I fall in the middle, I support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Jonathan, I love Tim Pool.
If you support the right to protest, assemble, and free speech and all that, you have to be consistent across the board and support property rights and the liberties that's for, because that's a piece of the puzzle that is the liberties. And if you
Absolutely.
fall in that middle, you have to be in favor of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have one without the other.
Everything is so unconstitutional because if you try to defend yourself, you feel almost like you can't because you may cause the destruction of part of the country. See, there's a reason these are happening in left-leaning cities.
All
Because
of them were left-leaning.
And it's fine to have the protest, but they're peaceful everywhere else.
Yeah.
But go to a gun-toting
Salt Lake City,
go to, I don't know,
Billings, Montana.
march on Billings, Montana. See how many people can get unruly there.
We're
They
going
won't
now.
need to call in the National Guard. People will take care of it themselves.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing they're going to want to do? Where's the police at?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait a second. I thought you wanted to unfund them. And that's what I want to ask Garcetti.
How do you feel about the defunding side of things there?
The most
What-
illogical thing I can think of.
Because your first instinct is they actually try to defund them, or the city council
I-
in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So let's say your kid gets kidnapped. Who you gonna call?
They want
The
unarmed
poli-
security guards. They want unarmed
Yeah.
security guards.
Well,
Because
no, you're going to see a skyrocket in vigilante justice.
It's called the Ferguson effect. Police they disengage from the community.
Yeah.
And start turning a blind eye. All right, it's a small crime. I don't want to deal with being called a racist today. It's a small crime.
Start
I'm just going to
fooling
let
it.
it go. Let me pour this meth out. It's a small crime, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of that happens more and more and more. Lawlessness takes over.
Mhm.
Lawlessness abounds in the city now, and then crime rates skyrocket. Violent crimes.
I got a counterpoint because I want to get your opinion on this because I really thought this through today when I was talking to a friend about it. So let's say they do defund the police. So it's not something that would happen automatically, but
It might though,
Okay,
because
but if-
Minneapolis is fixing to vote on this.
Okay.
Their
Okay,
city
so let's
council's
say they
looking
do.
at
Yeah.
it.
Let's say they do.
and Los Angeles already is
Right.
taking steps toward that. The mayor
right.
has.
But then
Was it 100
somebody,
million?
then somebody
180 million.
$180
within them.
million they're reallocating.
the Fed could just jump in and fund it.
Yeah.
It's not stupid. The Fed would just do what they do.
Absolutely, it's
But let's say
pandering.
let's say they could do it, and people just assume, yeah, we're going to show them no more violence. How many police are in the United States, if you had to guess?
800,000.
1.2 million.
Okay, so you got 1.2 million that immediately out of work. How many of them carry guns?
Everyone, and then every one of them have extra at home.
So at least 1.2 million. Who are they going to be mad at? The people that caused them to lose their job. So you're going to teach these cops a lesson by getting them to lose their job. Do you want 1.2 million trained police officers that it didn't work out so well in Iraq when they dismissed their police force? So Bush just said, hey, y'all go home. And they said, you can keep your guns though, as a parting gift.
There you go.
What do you know? What would happen if tomorrow you didn't have a job and you knew who was responsible?
And
all
there was
because of
nobody
politics,
to arrest you.
and there was nobody could arrest you.
That-
And the guy that caused it.
I get what you're pointing, but I don't think it would go like that. I don't think that it would be a violent thing.
No. I don't think that
with
y'all
cops.
would march and
Yeah.
cause.
We might.
and
I
go
mean, we
after-
might pick it out there.
I don't mean that. I shouldn't say because I'm not trying to compare this to what's going on. My point is,
Yeah.
y'all wouldn't load up in buses and go try to find people. My point is, all these people that think it'd be vigilante justice,
Yeah.
it's the same people will be keeping us safe that just got terminated.
We
You
would
still
still
go
go.
and help because
Yeah.
you would not be a
It's
cop
why
if you
it's
weren't.
why you
Yeah.
took the job in the first
That's
place.
why I
for the
love
most
cops.
part.
Yeah.
If you lost your job tomorrow because of some unfunding, I
We would
believe
just
the
do it in
Lord
our
would take
pers-
care of you, but you would
Yeah.
find something.
We would just do it in our personal
But-
vehicle.
without
Let-
all the
are saying-
bureaucracy.
Let me draw another because before I lose this train of thought, say for instance Minneapolis. So if this might be controversial, if I were Trump, and
Which
I'm-
one, Ivanka? Or?
Anyway, if I was the president and I was reviewing the concept, okay, they're going to defund the Minneapolis Police Department and they're just going to put Neighborhood Watch in charge. Do it. Let it experiment.
Show 'em.
Show the country. Report on it often. I'm going to
Yeah.
tweet every day what the crime rate
Keep
is
the
in
National
Minneapolis.
Guard around.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
Just let it happen. That'll be squashed in 6 months.
Shoot, it wouldn't take 2 weeks.
It wouldn't be 30 days.
Nah,
I bet.
Yeah,
There'd be some.
I don't think it'd
they
be 30,
they
it
would
wouldn't be 30
form
days.
some other
And
group and
Ilhan-
not call it.
Police.
People like
they would
Ilhan-
call it. They would call it the
Fabulous
strike force.
Crime Stopper. They are still wearing the
Okay.
same badges. No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's just be But it's the same people that are saying maybe we
Absolutely,
need to
that would happen.
maybe we need to defund it. Or
If
the
you
same
did that,
people
Ilhan Omar would lose her job
Oh, my
next
God.
election.
That's what I'm saying. People
What-
don't think this. They do not think it through politically.
Have you gone in the Capitol? It's all Capitol Police and stuff. You
Yeah.
defund it. It's now when these elected officials go in to do their job and you're like, bye, police, we don't need you. It's
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
okay, but wait, why are these people coming in here in my office now? We were screening them.
I feel very accountable now.
But it's the same people saying, hey, let's defund the police, especially the higher ups that can afford
Yeah.
private security.
Whitmer's I understand what they're saying about defunding the police now.
I get it.
Gosh,
Hey, I
that
need one of
woman
you to
is
guard me while I
she
go
wants
the
to be
bathroom.
vice president so bad.
I mean, especially in
he's
this
still- he
light,
gets so
my
good.
face is still not as greasy as hers. I mean, if you say her,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, she just needs
wow,
some help.
somebody get some rubbing alcohol. or something.
That woman is witless.
Who do you think VP is going to be?
Appar-
Stacey.
Joe-
I
Hey,
think
it's not gonna
Stacey
be
Abrams.
Stacey-
I don't know.
I
I think
guarantee
Joe Biden,
I think
he
that-
steps off into it left and right. You didn't see his last little mess up when he said, "I mean, picking the vice president, it doesn't have to be a black woman." I'm like, what? What? You vowed it was going to be a woman. Number one. Then number two, you said
probably
you
going to be a
don't have-
woman
it
of color.
doesn't-
Yeah, he said
and
something.
combine it all together, and it doesn't have to be a black woman.
He said,
What are you trying to do?
the color of something is not what qualifies somebody to be vice president.
Yeah.
But he said that about genitalia. It's weird how the
Yeah.
logic
Yeah.
is kind of
It-
lost.
I think it's Amy Klobuchar.
Elizabeth Warren, that's what Charles Downey's throwing out. I could see
I really think
somewhat.
I don't know. I think
I don't know if it's
Klobuchar-
going to be a senator.
I think it's
Klobuchar-
I think it's going to be a
she's
former
been
Secretary of
going
State.
through a
Klobuchar.
lot of-
Oh.
Now,
How do
if
you
they-
feel about that?
Because it can't be a man.
The only person that makes sense to me right now is Hillary Clinton. She's not going away.
The left hates her guts.
Watch what I say.
Look,
She'll find a
so-
way.
Hear me
Like the
now,
ball.
believe me later.
She was unlikable then. When Bill Maher says, "Please don't,"
I get it.
I totally
don't
forgot
do it.
about that. Thank you for bringing that up, Terrell. His latest comment about saying that 10 to 15% of all Americans are evil or bad people.
I saw
Did you
that.
see
yeah,
that?
yeah, ignorant.
But that's the deplorable thing.
I'd say it's got to be in the
that,
30s.
That percentage
but that's
that was
bad.
going to vote for him.
I
Because
think all
Trump is going
Democratic
to
voters
win
are
90
evil?
to 10.
Oh,
That's my point.
we've talked a little bit about heartbreak. We've talked about police. And I mean, the Charles Lloyd, or
Floyd.
the Floyd,
You've already
Charles.
forgotten.
Well,
Dude,
I know.
come on.
I'm,
what have they been
I'm
riding
looking
for
at
for a
different.
week?
I'm looking at different names here,
Yeah.
but George Floyd should have never happened. We all agreed like should have never happened.
Mr. What's his name?
I'm getting there because
77-year-old. What?
David Dorn, the retired police captain, was shot in the back of the head on Facebook Live. That should
should-
also have never happened.
Yeah.
Him and Patrick Underwood, the security guard
Yep.
over
The federal building.
in
Dorn.
Oakland.
I'm going to tell you the video that it really kind of ripped my heart out.
I saw.
is-
I've
I
seen
didn't-
all these videos. I
you-
saw
right.
the Lloyd one, and
Yeah.
then I saw.
I haven't seen the
Well,
David
see,
Dorn.
I've
all-
seen the
but where
David
there's all
Dorn one.
these different
It's just
angles.
as heartbreaking and infuriating.
If you watch it on mainstream media, they always mute the sound.
of course,
But that dude that was filming it
he was
begging for him. He said, "Come on,
over some
cuz.
TVs.
Come on,
over
cuz."
some. He
Well,
was
before
yelling
he
at the
died-
other people.
Before he died, he was still breathing because you could see Dorn moving a little bit.
I would even
he was
say,
like, "Come on,
don't
he-
watch it because you're gonna get just.
You're
that
gonna get mad. He said, "Come on, cuz, hang in there, cuz. Come on, man. Come on, OG, hang in there, hang
Oh,
in there." He
man.
kept just saying it over and over and over, and then he died. He took his last breath, and then he's like, "Come on, man, over some TVs."
Right.
And then the
right.
bleeping, bleep,
It's-
bleep, over
it's
some
all-
TVs,
it's
over some
all-
TVs, cuz.
all on that video.
And
But
then
that's
the people that did it over here. And
that's
they kind of come
where
back, and he's still just going over some TVs.
that's why
Man.
the message gets muddled when you say someone died unjustly. We're going to cause all this, and then while it happens, the same exact people kill another unjustly.
Yeah. How many TVs does it take for you to feel socially justified?
The David
I
Dorn
mean-
stuff, the Patrick Underwood stuff, made me so mad. And then the David
Was that the
Lawrence
drive-by?
stuff.
Was that the open
That was the
door?
drive-by.
Yeah.
That was the drive-by that happened.
And did you see the video of the girls trying to
The
clean off the
s-
graffiti?
Yeah, and then that
And the
girl
one
giving them
stops.
static.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
see a video today of a motorcycle cop overseas in Europe?
Yeah, set him on fire.
Why? Tell
In
me.
New Zealand, there was a
Martin the Lud.
But it has no. It's not about race.
I know, man.
If
It's
people are-
it's about lawlessness,
Are
man.
people, if people are crazy enough to believe this about
I
race,
know.
you deserve what you get.
I know.
This has nothing to do with race. It has every bit to do with lawlessness. And the catalyst for it is
The
a
hatred
No,
of
it's-
all
it's a hate-
authority.
but-
It's
law.
It's a hatred. Yeah, they want anarchy.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
what,
Karen-
but what do
Karen
they
told
really
him-
want?
They said that.
So here's the deal. So let's say it's all about anarchy, and they take over. It's your point.
What's there to gain?
If
Yeah.
they go and wipe out our entire government and the police, they say, "Okay, you win," and one of them says, "Who's in charge?" Not me.
I was just here to overthrow the system. Now we did it. Now we all get to be in charge.
Now we got to have a system.
Great.
And we're like, wait a second. I guess I'll be in charge. Then they kill him. It would be circular reasoning. They would
Or-
just kill each other until it was over. Maybe we'll just say, "I'll give up."
It's an
wiping each
absolute
other out.
disdain for authority. It's authority
It-
for the police authority, the presidential authority, even though
That's where anti-theum comes from,
even
ultimately.
Antifa was even against Obama. Right? They just hate the whole system.
Yeah.
And
they're like the weather underground.
they're going to be
Vikings.
99% all atheists because God represents
Yeah,
authority
and-
too.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
authority.
it's-
Let
yeah.
me. What I'm
Exactly
doing is
right.
not wrong. You can't tell me.
That's
that.
like it's like Bill
Yeah.
Maher. He's anti-theist. He knows
He
God
hates
exists.
God.
He hates God, authority.
Yeah.
In that manner.
There's
Yeah.
always authority. Even with Antifa, if they reach their goal of causing disruption in every city in the United States to where people do not want to get out of their houses,
Yeah.
the authority is still going to be the people.
Yeah.
Have we not learned a lesson of locking people down? They get a little restless. They will come after Antifa because there's not near as many of them.
And they buy a lot of guns.
It's true.
If
I'm
there's ever
telling
been
you,
a case for the
just-
Second Amendment, after seeing these videos of people getting hit with skateboards and
Yeah.
windows getting bashed in on their cars, I will never give my
Well,
guns
he-
up.
here's-
Ever.
You ain't seen it in Southern Arkansas
Here-
or something.
Go
Go to
devil's
Seth Miller's
advocate.
house and see what happens.
Oh,
I'm telling
I
you,
butchered
you
that.
will not make it out alive.
They're saying you only support the Second Amendment because of a tyrannical government. It's for anybody who
Oh, yeah,
wants.
yeah.
It's for everybody who wants these hands.
That applies to
That's-
everybody.
It's government people. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
you
that applies to
threaten me.
everybody.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
a
get that.
perversion of the
It's meant for
Constitution.
protecting. It doesn't matter
No.
who the protecting
Yeah.
is
They
from.
really need to reread the Constitution.
Yeah.
They don't believe in it. They like it.
It's moot to them.
They can try it, and it just doesn't make any sense because eventually, people are people. You push anybody too far, they're going to come out fighting.
And-
These dudes trying to act thuggish and they come bum rushing your house.
You
Somebody's dying.
you are taking us at
It's-
face value, baby, because
It's crazy.
and Christians will be the last one to do it, but they are going to be
Yeah.
the most heated.
But
I
they will.
promise.
And you want to be
Push-
shooting for the leg. No.
No.
'Cause
Jo-
with that,
I was going to ask you
but-
about Joe Biden's comment
Well-
about we need to train our police to shoot them in the leg.
I'm,
If somebody's coming towards you in a very threatening manner,
As a
you
cop,
got to be a good
yeah,
shot.
he's a cop and he's trained. I got a concealed carry license, right? So when you do the concealed carry,
Yeah.
our instructor said better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That was in our training. He said, never shoot
Wound.
to wound.
yeah.
He said,
If
"You're
you made
going-"
that decision
if
that your
you-
life is in danger,
That's right.
The dude who was
If
on
you-
bath salts got
like
shot
if
like 6 times.
If the
and still
dude's
kept
running at you
attacking.
with a bat with nails hanging out of it.
Yeah.
If he's 15 feet away from you, you kill him.
and walking toward me, yeah,
Aim
he's-
low.
But if
boy.
he's across the street, you run. You don't wait on him and say, "I'm gonna see if I can get a good shot."
it's just about applying common
Pe-
sense.
Most
That's it.
people are going to try to remove themselves from the situation if they can. Shoot him in the finger. Joe Biden would really appreciate it.
Imagine.
Don't neutralize
This
the
is
threat.
a guy
Just wound
you
the
Democrats
threat.
want as your commander in chief.
You can
Let's
tell the
train
military that,
to
too.
only wound. Sir, how do we do that with a tank?
We-
Just shoot the dirt beside the target.
I'm flying an
Drones.
A-10
Yeah.
Warthog. I'm
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
try to.
Well,
Far
do-
away.
Do
You
do-
see our
do
new
that
training
all around.
manual? Our new training manual says shoot to inconvenience.
Oh man, that is. I mean, could you imagine if he was in charge of the military?
Well,
He wouldn't even
be,
know it.
He wouldn't be in charge.
Who are all these people keep following me?
Yeah.
and why are they dressed alike?
Oh,
Calling me sir, I'm not your daddy.
Come here and let me snip you. But All right, we need
Yeah.
to
We're gonna
shout out
have
to our
an
sponsors.
hour and 44
All right, well,
minutes.
let's
read the sponsors.
Let's get the sponsors.
All right,
There's another
Chase.
sheet somewhere.
There you go.
If I had a picture that I could pull over the
Yeah,
sponsors, that's
where's
what
the other
actually
one?
need.
Where's the
I
other
have
one?
no, dude.
It's
I've been going through a pandemic. I've had things to do, and it's not keeping up with your sponsors.
Not what my drill instructor told me. Donald Morse, appreciate the service anyway.
I know one thing. That's Brent and Courtney McHenry
What?
right there.
Yeah, I got them right here, man. All
Bang.
right, somebody else could jump in on this too. Go ahead,
Jordan,
go ahead,
you-
Jordan. Get
Me and you've been podcasting for months.
catch up, son.
It's about to shine on my head.
Hey, look, let's all throw it out there.
Oh.
You're wearing it too.
Hey.
Bang, bang, bang.
Regional Hospice Care Group of Louisiana is a wonderful company that provides quality and compassionate care to loved ones all over Northwest Louisiana. Their loving and caring staff are perfect for helping families and patients. They have a full-time physician on staff, and they even make house calls. Give them a call at one of their 2 locations in Minden or Shreveport, Louisiana at 318-382-9396 or 318-524-1046, and let Regional Hospice Care Group of Louisiana care for you. It's like an episode of Bewitched.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you gotta wiggle the nose. It sounded like a cleaning commercial for a second.
Seth Miller has one of the coolest talents out there. He can take a chainsaw and a log of cedar, pine, or maple and turn it into a lifelike sculpture or a
baton.
customized
Did y'all see
sign.
his eagle the other day?
I am absolutely reading a sponsor right
Dude,
now.
his eagle, it's on his Facebook page. Check it out. Lifelike, amazing.
Have
Looks
you
wonderful.
seen tonight's the baton?
The
It's
what?
the batons he's making. Yes,
The
the baton.
Oh,
He's shipping them
nice.
nationwide.
He can turn a piece of wood into a lifelike sculpture. It would look good outside your home or business. You really do have to see these. Find him on Facebook and Miller Custom Name Logs and Chainsaw Carvings. Call 573-856-4920 to learn more. Drop him an email, millercustomnamelogs.me.com, or stop by and see what he's got on Highway 34 between Piedmont and Patterson, Missouri.
Oh, you broke the mic.
You
Unplug the mic.
Now I got to reset the whole Facebook.
Oh, God. We
Dude,
got to do it all over.
Hold it up there and then spin the silver part. Now, or you can do that,
Dude,
then tighten up with the silver part.
what I'm doing? And you want to fly planes.
Nobody can hear you. Why are you speaking into the mic? You unplugged the mic.
Anyway,
He wants to fly a plane. Yeah.
if you need to
Here's your
stock,
co-pilot.
if you need to stock your pond or tank this summer with a or even tropical, then look no further than the best name in the fish game, Billy Bland Fishery.
Billy Bland Fishery. Billy Bland Fishery.
They have goldfish, minnows, catfish, koi, largemouth bass, bluegill, black crappie. They just got it all. And they'll ship it right to you. All you need to do is call 870-694-4811 or check out BillyBlandFishery.com. Billy Bland, where the name is bland, but the fish are not. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, Facebook's about to pull us down.
No, it's a open source beat.
Oh, is it?
I made this. It's called Fat Beat.
Okay.
All right, Jordan, you're up.
Jordan,
Look.
rap Cottonwood.
Now they're really. Says you're up. And then correct. That's 2 beats playing. If you love what's a charm, home decor, built to last, call Cottonwood, Farm Design Company, signs, cabinets, tables, and more. Give us your home. We'll decorate it to the tone. The designs, you're gonna want them all. Cottonwood Farms even host sign parties where you can create your own. Check out their pre-made designs. All place your custom orders today. Have an idea? Cottonwood Farms will bring it to life. 910-220-5867. That it? No, there's more. Cottonwood Farm Design Co. @gmail.com.
Girthy Beats. Or check them out on Facebook. That's Cottonwood Farm Design Company. Shout out to Brent and Courtney McHenry.
Henry of Red and Associate.
It's like an R&B.
Put some bass in your voice. It's an alpha. Professional assist. Hold my gun while you do it. We need to read about Hobbit and Magnolia surrounding and Brent and Courtney. Classing to share a home in around Magnolia to the professional associate effect. Efforts. The goals. The vibes. Find a perfect vibe. It's your whole property. The other thing compared to market analysis to help determine the value. This state and other services is help to make for real property. The word is closely with preferred property. Only it can offer valuable advice. The business is more than just making a sale. They do face you.
So contact them at 870-234-1644. The beat was black. This
We tried to. Oh. Little softer.
Oh, the whiteness.
Weird.
Why don't you sing it? You're better at singing.
Brent Courtney Henry. A Ray and a Sophie. Of a professional. Get him off the mic, bro. Get him off the mic. Okay.
Shout out 8 Ball. That's his favorite part.
Yeah.
because it doesn't even grammatically make sense.
You did a lot with a little.
Try it.
We're doing
All right, let me see if you find another beat.
Brent Courtney McHenry getting their money worth.
Here we go.
Hold on. That's not it.
Don't play that.
Give me that Soldier Boy beat. Pretty Boy swag instrumental.
Can't do that.
Yeah, we can.
Hold on.
Hear that.
Let me find.
Oh my
See
gosh.
what I got.
We had 4,000 viewers earlier, and then he started rapping. It dropped to single digits.
It's all right. Jordan's national anthem.
Oh,
Man.
don't play that.
How long have we been going? 2 hours? And Teresa and Charles and
They're still hanging in.
they've been there since the beginning. Shout out, you guys. Donald.
that?
Uh-oh. Boom, 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 boom.
Was that it?
It's
the same one.
That's all I got right now. Look it up on YouTube.
Dude,
Bro, open source.
Copyright. I just played one off of YouTube.
Well,
Okay. A warning popped up because I do not play copyrighted music. And I thought it was me. I'm like, I didn't do that. I'll buy one. Yo,
This is the waxiest beat I've ever heard.
No, no.
I'll sing.
Give me another beat and I'll do it.
All right. I'll find one. Come on. Bye.
Chase, read another one in the meantime.
I think
That was that it?
Well, hold on. Pause.
Here we go. Is he finding a different beat?
He's going to find a different.
Well, stop that one because I think everybody's tired of it.
I got a Cheers one for
Do you know when Jordan gets this mic?
You know what I'm saying?
It's about to burn his plate back.
Mic check 1, 2.
We already did that.
Oh,
Today, Alan.
Do it a style
Okay,
like Jim
all right.
Carrey was. Man, you gotta kill that music.
If I hear this beat go one more cycle,
you're gonna start.
I'm gonna
start my
accident-
car and go home.
I can't make it stop.
Yeah, we're all waiting, Charles.
I want it to stop.
Close the computer.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me just. You're just going to wrap on this and
All right,
Goodness.
let's go. Let's get it started. Here we go.
Brent and Courtney McHenry of Brent Associates. Professional assistance when you need to rent or buy property in Magnolia or surrounding area. Brent and Courtney, who wish to sell a home in or around Magnolia will be pleased when their professional efforts to find the perfect buyer. They offer free comparative market analysis to help determine the value of real estate. Another
Service helping locate rental
There-
property. They work closely with rental property
I don't know how to make
owners
this up.
and can offer valuable advice that business is more than just making a sale. Build friendships.
Give their number a shout out, Lee.
Contact 870-234-1644. That's it.
All right.
What as good as Philly playing?
Philly. Yeah, you a platinum selling record.
I know.
Right then.
All right, let's kill it. Kill that beat. Kill it. That beat.
All right. Kill that beat.
Okay.
Great job.
This show went off the rails.
Not
hard.
sure about transition. that comes from the sponsor sale, Brent McHenry.
They needed something like that.
That-
They hadn't done
yeah.
that since Billy Blair.
That was
And there are new volleyball Taylor's got a volleyball program, the only 1A school in the state.
Wow,
Has a volleyball program.
that's awesome.
And
taking on
Courtney-
5A's, dominate them.
I wouldn't go all that far.
Courtney McHenry's the coach.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
She is. They're going to be taking on like.
I'm sure she'll
Magnolia,
do
I guess it had to be Magnolia. You said
I'm sure-
Hope. You
had
said
Mag-
Hot Springs, Lakes.
No, I hope it's that church that it's a private school in Hope, and then stuff like
Private
that.
school.
At Garrett Memorial. They're a private school.
There's it's that Catholic,
Anyway,
the
there's
Jewish
a-
Catholic
me-
school.
me
up
and
there.
Jordan
They're only
don't know
doing
nothing about
JV.
no-
When you're in the first year or something, you can only do JV.
We from the
E-Town.
E.
There's 55 girls that came out.
Wow, from Emerson and
Wow.
Bradley.
So they're going to Emerson Taylor Bradley because they're all doing one team.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna have to.
They have enough that they're going to actually just do a bunch of blue and white games, play each other.
Very cool. I hope big thing.
Girl.
That's just another way for scholarships, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
another scholarship route.
Taylor, man,
They
Taylor-
have a golf
Taylor's
team
broke.
and something. And golf is one of the easiest sports scholarships you can probably
It's
get.
most available. It's
It-
not the easiest.
you actually
it's
have
the
to be
most
good.
available.
I couldn't get one.
Right.
Pro
you-
probably would never get one.
If you identify, you're good enough to get one.
All right, I see what
I
you're
could
saying.
get a female weightlifting scholarship.
We appreciate everybody for sticking in with us for over a 2-hour broadcast.
Sorry about that.
We were trying to aim for 1 hour. We missed the mark. We appreciate everybody for tuning in
Who's
for
Mark?
that long. I guess 2 weeks from now,
Where's Mark?
every other week. I don't know.
Every
We'll
other
figure it
week.
out.
Every other week.
We like the
There will not
videos.
be- We'll get them on Thursdays.
Who
Jordan
decided
had-
to do this?
Jordan had
Friday?
Jordan had too much stuff to do.
Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And we're Small Town Famous, and we are
Audi.
Oh, you know what? I got to do this before we go completely out. Put your
No.
headphones on.
Are we playing it out? Let's see.
We got to play it out.
What? We're still
Hold on.
going?
Yeah, I hadn't hit stop yet.
Great, guys. Appreciate that. We touched a lot of different topics in that. Some lighter, some heavier.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, I
We
guess I
could've
forgot
always
we had
done-
music. I
could've
hadn't
always
heard it
done
in
that.
forever.
We could have faded it up. See, I can do that while we're talking. And
We're getting better.
I just thought about it. We got our thing song. But
There you-
everybody that's been appreciated, God.